to go through. We have the abortion shit, we have fucking gun laws, we have so much shit to get through. But
We probably agree about abortion.
yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone, maybe Angie has a different perspective when it comes to abortion, but I doubt it.
Why? Like, no, I think obvious. Bref, my opinion is like, don't overdo it. Don't use it as a birth control. It's also not good for your body. So ladies, be careful. Just always have safe sex, because in the end, you don't want herpes either. But anyways,
Yeah,
and
well, I
in
mean,
the end, it
definitely.
is the woman's choice. Look, as much as it sucks, I find, yes, if you're with a partner, you should consider that. Like, there's always different situations, and there could be 100 million different scenarios. But if you don't have the means, you're in an abusive relationship, I absolutely get that abortion. You've been raped, or you have health issues that could have problematic pregnancies, get that abortion. If you're just totally irresponsible and you're having sex left and right with unprotected sex and you don't give a shit and you're like, oh well, abortion's my way out, that's kind of shitty. But other than that, like, look, most of the responsibility unfortunately does fall on the woman. So no matter what, I feel like she would have the final say.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
everyone says that.
Hard to
Yeah,
object to
that's
any of that.
reasonable. Yeah.
So why do we have religious nutcases who want to say?
Why you sound so far?
Because I didn't realize my laptop had unplugged itself, so the battery was dying, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Sorry, my bad. Hello?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So like I said, we all pretty much have the same point of view, but why do our religious nutcases try to say differently then?
Well,
Because a lot of people misinterpret the Bible. A lot of people also, like, there's people that argue, because I honestly, I haven't done the research and looked myself in the Bible, but from what I see, people, like, I always like to follow debates on the internet and whatnot. It's apparently contradicting. There is apparently a verse in the Bible that does approve of abortion. Others say no. Then there's also the thing, well, oh my God, you're killing a life that's being born. But some people say, well, when you read the Bible, it says life. It's not really life until you come out and take that first breath. So it's just like anything religion, a lot of verses, it could be super misinterpreted and it's not clear.
So we shouldn't listen to religion at all. It has no.
Well, religion. No, I say let's listen to the good teachings of religion. Let's take the positive.
There is none.
There is. There's like, isn't there parts in that Bible that says, not in that way, but just to not be an asshole, don't lie, don't kill. That's pretty good, right?
Common sense, knowledge, and information.
What?
Common sense, knowledge, and information.
Well, no, not for some people. I guess I don't know. Well, people mostly lie. People lie all the time, and it's. I don't think lying is right.
Is it punishable by death? Eternal damnation? No.
Eternal damnation, though. Whoa. What's the proof of eternal damnation? What's the proof that if I'm lying or cheating or whatever, I'm going to go to hell? We don't know.
But
that's religion, though. Nothing is proven.
That's the point. Okay. So what about gun laws? Let's dive into gun laws really quick. We're Canadian. The only American here is you, Daniel. So you might have to give a little too much.
I mean, I'm not a gun guy. I would rather fewer guns be in the hands of people. But I don't know what the solution is. It's because at this point, it's kind of like it's so far past the point where you can just reverse it. But I don't know. I mean, ideally, it would be stricter. But
yes,
I don't really know the solution. I would rather at least guns that could kill less people be available, and ideally more background checks and
yes, absolutely, and psychological checks. Also,
psychological checks, more waiting periods.
We shouldn't be. I don't find more in the States. I don't feel like you should be able. Like I think somebody posted something recently that they walked into like I don't remember what store, and 20 minutes in and out, boom, got a gun.
Yeah.
I used to be very against the gun stuff. I was always like, no guns. But then I spoke to other people, and people enlightened me a bit. If you look at like historically, a lot of when you disarm citizens, governments do take over. People that have. So in the end, Look, I believe that okay, yeah, what if we have why can't we bear arms? It's just it needs to be controlled. You need to go through psychological evaluations. It shouldn't be so easy. You shouldn't be able to walk into a Walmart and get it so easily. Look at certain examples, certain countries like Switzerland, the whole country. My brother was the one who told me this because he went and visited Switzerland and stuff. And he's like, every citizen is trained to use a gun. They all do, I think, 1 or 2 years in the army. So if ever, like, they're all knowledgeable. They know how guns work. They know how to use them. They know how to keep them away. And it's controlled. It's very well controlled there in Switzerland. There's not shoot ups in schools like there is in the States. But then again, there's also the argument in the States, there's more population. It's harder to control. So yeah, what is the solution? Like you said, Daniel, I don't know. It's a good question.
Fewer guns.
Yeah.
Fewer deaths.
Yeah, ideally,
I like guns.
Pretty...
Has anyone ever shot a gun here?
I have.
I haven't shot a gun.
I've shot a gun.
I have not.
Daniel, I expected you to have.
I know, me too. I was like,
yeah, me too.
Yeah, plenty of opportunities. I just not really into them. I mean, I've shot like BB guns and stuff, but no, never. I'm just not something I'm really into. But I would like maybe a buyback program or something, and
a what program?
Buyback to where they did it in Australia and it worked pretty well.
Yeah. Okay.
Where the government will buy back your gun for like twice what you paid or something.
Oh, okay.
And
I don't know.
I don't know. But then the problem is you have
to disarm the population and be like, oh, we got your
well,
gun.
right,
now
but
if you want to fucking
sure, but I think they
tell
could.
The country we could.
Realistically, at this point, they could anyway. I think. Like, is the gun really preventing the government from fucking you up?
No, because then if you shoot someone from the government, you're still gonna get arrested. You're gonna have hundreds of government officials on your ass, and you're
like that.
In jail
that made sense, maybe in like the musket days.
Mm-hmm, yeah, you're right.
That's basically all the army had too was the bullshit you could get. So I mean, if they can drive a tank to your house, I don't think you could do much.
Do much with a gun. No, you're right. Unless you have after that grenades and other bombs. But then
if you've got a bunch of illegal shit, maybe you can
that's
save them all for a little while.
Okay. So you don't have a solution, which is kind of funny.
Well, I mean, it's a complicated issue for sure because so many people have them already. I would definitely like anything that's even semi-automatic. I would rather not be legal.
Yeah, no, that's it. That I understand. Like, if you want to for self-defense, what the fuck do you need a semi-automatic for? Like,
yeah.
Hey, you never know. The person has a Gatling gun who's coming into your house. You need something, right? That would be the logic of some stupid fucking conservative. Hey, he's gonna come with a Gatling gun. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So let's jump into the topic that's really going to be the meat of the subject today.
Oh,
police.
Police?
Oh, boy.
I've had very horrible experiences with police.
All right. Well, how about you tell us a little bit about
what you've been doing?
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't been doing that. No. Okay.
She's up to no good.
No. Listen to this.
We're listening.
A couple of years ago, my sister went out, got drunk, phone died, disappeared. So my mom, immigrant Greek lady, oh my God, my daughter, what is wrong with my daughter? There are people prostituting her. Oh my God, what if they get her drunk? She's freaking out. So 24 hours pass, no sign. We've called everyone, no sign of my sister. So I'm like, okay, fine, we'll call the police and file a missing persons report. And I understand my mom's worry. I mean, there has been, and we all know this, there has been underground and forced prostitution rings in Montreal, even juvenile prostitution rings. But anyways, so call the police. A female police officer comes, and she's super Quebecoise. She doesn't speak English or anything. So my mom's super English. What's that?
Never mind, go on.
So she's like super francophone. My mom is, Greek immigrant lady, doesn't speak French very much. So she's speaking a million miles an hour in English. Oh my God, my daughter, the cop's like, what? I'm like, okay, I'm going to translate. So My mom starts freaking out. Oh my God, what if they prostitute her? So I'm like, so the fucking cop looks at her and I fucking freaked out on the cop. She goes, Madame, I'm sorry, but I think you are watching too many TV movies. I fucking looked at the cop. I was like,
Well,
damn.
if that's her first thought, maybe she is.
Maybe she is, but I mean, like, you're there for a missing
As
person.
soon as wait, how long was she missing?
Oh, like 28 hours about. I'm a good 30 hours.
Okay.
Like those, like people saw her at a bar.
But her
last
brain
with a guy.
immediately went to.
But
Yeah, because she was at a bar.
She was at a bar
drinking. She was at a bar drinking. She left with a guy. No one saw her after that.
Okay.
So
I mean, I think it's normal to think that, like, it's your daughter that's missing.
Right.
In
the sense of, like, of course you freak out. And
sure, you think of every
scenario.
horrible scenario, even if it's
right. I don't think it's I think it's really inappropriate when someone's freaking out about their daughter missing.
And as a female,
well, I guess you just watch too much TV. Like, that feels really insensitive.
And that's what I was like, as a female cop, this shit was happening in Montreal. And it was a couple of years before that also that there was an underground prostitution ring that came to a bunch of people were arrested. There was a bunch of girls that were forced into prostitution and everything. And I looked at it and I was like, how dare you? I'm like, can you, like, seriously, like, just take her déclaration. Sorry, I don't know how to say it in English. Her déclaration.
Statement.
Yeah, her statement. There you go. Thank you. So take her statement. Like, damn well that this has been going on in Montreal. Can you not sit there she rolled her eyes, and I was like, oh, you fucking bitch. Like, and she did not want to take my mom's statement, but she did it. You could tell she felt forced to. And yeah, I just found it really shitty. There's other times where I've been pulled over with my boyfriend. Oh yeah, no, another time I was in the car with 3 colored dudes.
Wait. What happened to your sister?
My sister ended up popping up. She ended up sleeping at some guy's house. She went to his house. Her phone died, and they did a bunch of drugs, and she slept for like God knows how many hours.
Did he at least pay her?
She did.
Daniel, you need help. You need help.
Wow.
She wants to whore herself out to him.
Oh.
But yeah. And there was another time when I was with
ending.
your brother, and another time I was with your brother, Darnell, and 2 other colored dudes in the car, and I got pulled over by police. I was asked to step out of the car, and I was asked if I was okay because they thought I was being whored. Yeah, by a black dude and 2 brown dudes.
Is this the?
Are they wearing pimp outfits?
What's a pimp outfit? Like fur coats?
Yeah, fur coat, cane.
No. They're wearing like FUBU shirts and jeans and shit,
Yeah.
Is this the cops versus hookers support group?
Yeah.
Is that cops? What?
Cops versus hookers?
Look. As we can tell from Angie's thing, from her stories, that
I have more stories, but I'll let other people tell their stories.
I don't think Marilou has any cop stories. Do you?
No, not really. I mean,
she seems well behaved.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in parties where like cops come and shut down the party, but it's it sucks, but it is what it is. But I've not had like a bad. I mean, just being around cops is bad on its own, but I haven't seen like really bad interactions from my own experience or witnessed it. But I often think like in Montreal, like they always send so many cops for nothing. Like they just send so many of them for no reason.
It depends, or they might just not end up sending them at all too. That they do that also.
I was
well, they're all like okay. So for example, last week I was on the Mont Royal, and there was like the Tam Tam jams.
Yeah.
So it was like around 8:30 p.m. So I guess they just wanted them to like leave and like stop making noise. But I shit you not, there was 18 car vans, like cop vans. So there was like at least 40 police officers or something over there. And I was like, there's just people playing music. Like, what is this? That's crazy. And then, there's people who have real life, like real threatening situations. They have to wait for fucking forever for someone to come.
Yeah.
Another story. You guys want to listen to it?
Go ahead.
But of course.
Yeah.
This happened last year during COVID. But I don't know if this is more 911 operators or police, but there's what we call the welfare square down the street. There's a group of people. They have dogs or anyways, they're the stars of the street, right? So every time I walk my dog, they always have their dogs loose. Their dogs are aggressive. Their dogs bark at everyone. Their dog has come up to me, bit my dog. So one day I'm walking by, there's a child outside with this aggressive dog on her own, and I'm walking my dog. So of course the dog runs up to me and my dog growling, fucking foaming from the mouth and all that shit. So I called the and I started yelling. I'm like, could somebody come get the dog? So then finally the fucking bitch comes out. She weighs like 250 pounds. So she don't fight me. She's like, why are you screaming at my kid? I'm like, I'm not screaming at your kid. I was screaming at your open window so you could come get your dog because your dog's aggressive. So if you can't own dogs, just don't have one or fucking train it. Of course, she wants to fight me. So she's screaming. All her friends are outside. And I'm like walking away. I'm like, there's no way I'm getting in a fight with this 200-pound bitch. And all her friends are out there, like, no way. So I start walking away. She's following me with the finger up in the air. I'm going to fuck you up, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. So I called the police and I'm like, look, this woman is always out with her dogs. We always her dog's always attacking people. They're outside right now. So can you please send a fucking patrol car and do something about it? And they asked me, are you still on the scene? I said, no, I'm not going to stay on the scene. They're threatening me. They're inciting violence. So I'm not going to stay there and get my ass kicked. And they're like, well, we can't send anyone then. I'm like, are you, I'm like, what? I'm like, but they're like still outside, whatever. And there's like, well, you have to stay on the scene. I'm like, so you're telling me I have to stay on the scene and I have to, how do we say, subir la violence? I have to like take violence and threats and possibly get my ass kicked. And do we know that, police officers could take up to 45 minutes to come up to the scene. So I have to stay there. And what they told me, which is funny because this was during COVID, when cops were showing up at people's houses because, you would call a police officer and say, oh, my neighbor has a visitor over, and they'd come down and search your house and your closets and shit because you might have somebody over and spread COVID. So the operator tells me, well, you cannot call the police so we could go knocking on someone's door and harass them for no reason. I was like, are they fucking seriously telling me that? I'm like, it's not for no reason. I'm like, the fucking dog attacked me, has been many times, and their dog is still...
But milady, vous n'êtes pas blessé.
No, that's what I... No, je n'étais pas blessé. That's why they didn't come, I guess.
Yep.
But still, if I would have called the police and said, hey, there's a gathering of 30 people outside, COVID, they would have gone. But because I called and said there's a dog outside, they're like, we cannot go harass people. I was like, are you fucking serious? Like, so yeah, police.
Bullshit.
Well, it's probably because they would have gone and been like, hey, you got a dog, is attacking people. She would have been like, no, it's not. And then they're like, oh, all right.
But the dog was still loose outside. You're not supposed to have a loose dog outside, especially like, if the cops would have showed up, the dogs would have run up to them barking because that's what they do when everyone does, when everyone shows up there. So anyways, they would have been caught right there, but the cops didn't want to come. So they told me they can't go harassing people. So yeah.
Pigs, what are you going to do?
Pigs, exactly. Yeah. Protect and serve, motherfuckers.
Okay, Maxus, do you have any stories that partake of cop interaction? If you're there.
So I don't know. I mean, I kind of obey the law, and I'm a studious, respectful person, and so I don't get into. Also, my skin tone is particularly pale, so I have some superpower, if you will.
So Darnell, what are your run-ins with the cops? Since you're here, the one with the dark skin.
My one particular interaction with the cops was, I think I was probably in my 20s, and I was walking home from a bar after like getting out of the taxi with my friends, so that way it would cost them cheaper to get home. And I'm walking up the street to my place, and these cops see me on over, like, there's a medium right in between the street, like it's a major street, so there's a medium. They drove over the medium and pulled up in front of me, got out and told me where the fuck didn't say where the fuck I was going, but they were like, where are you going? And I'm like, none of your business. And they're like, we have suspicions, blah blah blah, there's someone in the area with your description. So me
so someone who's black,
basically. Yeah. So I was like, okay. So me being the cunt I am, I was like, okay, what's the description? Yes. I'm like, describe them. And then they're like, to be in I'm like, That's not what I'm asking you. I asked you what's the description. So they kept giving me lip or whatever. And then at one point, it was a male and a female cop, and the female cop was reasonable compared to the male cop who was trying to be all aggro and all that kind of shit. And he's like, "Oh, t'es sous, eh?" I'm like, "Yeah. So what? I'm walking home. What are you gonna do about it?" And he's trying to get me to get frustrated or whatever, and I'm laughing at him like, "I don't give a fuck." And he's like, "You're going home to your mommy?" I'm like, "Sure." Like I give a fuck.
Well, in fact, I am. If you must know.
It's
So
like-
now the cop is telling the same story to their family and say, "That was the hardest stud I ever seen."
Anyways, the whole entire point is I still ask them, I'm like, what's the description? I'm walking. I haven't done anything wrong. You can't give me a description. But I was like, hey, I would be a good Samaritan. I'll be like, if I saw the person, I'll tell you I saw the person, right? But you can't give me a description.
Because the description was it was black dude. So they see the first black dude, they're like, there he is.
Or there was no description and
There
you
was
just
none.
said that to arrest him. Yeah.
Exactly. There was none. It was pure bullshit. So it's interesting how we all have different experiences, but one is always, a particular type of experience,
But you were being difficult.
That's because I hate cops.
You could
You
have
were
just
being
said,
a bit confrontational.
No,
could have just said,
It doesn't
Oh,
matter.
I'm walking home. I live right up there. And then they would have left you alone.
No, but that's the thing. I even said that, and it didn't make a difference. They were just trying to see, like, the male cop was trying to see if I would be all aggressive and shit. Because I told the female cop, yeah, I was drinking. And she was,
Yeah.
so,
Anyways, thank God you didn't get shot, Darnell.
Yeah.
Sounded close.
one of the one of the perks is we're in Canada and they're less trigger happy, but they would still beat your ass. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So
So you didn't get your ass beat either.
no, and plus,
Okay, good.
imagine what would two of these loser cops do with me anyway? The moment they would have touched me, I would have decked them in the face, and I
Oh,
would
and then you'd be, and then you would have
Yeah.
gotten shot for
That
sure.
yeah, that would have ended well.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the
Yeah, but
thing.
wait, do you understand? I know you're saying that tough guy, whatever.
No.
Do you understand how stupid that is?
You see, this is where I have a issue with people believing that cops are above fucking reasonable.
No, but it's not the point. It's
What?
stupid.
What do
You're
you mean?
now going to war with the state. That's
Mm.
not a war
Do-
you win.
Do you know why? It's idiotic.
Because then by fighting back, then you prove to them, oh yeah, it is that aggressive black guy that
it doesn't matter. You have the right to defend yourself when you're put in a situation where you have to defend yourself. I'm sorry, but if someone dares to lay a hand on me without justification, my ass is not going to take it like a little bitch.
I
and be like,
understand
then
your
find
principle.
a great lawyer.
I get your principle. That's fine. Your principle's fine. It doesn't make it not stupid.
Mm.
You guys could say it's stupid, but I would still.
But it's still stupid whether I agree with the principle or not.
Then it should be changed, and now shouldn't it?
Well,
This is the whole
fair
entire
enough.
That's
point.
another discussion, though.
That's a
another
different subject.
Yeah.
Exactly, that's the whole entire point. Because if you're gonna say it's just the law, then you're making it so it's just the law because you're not giving.
Well, I'm in no position to change it, but
I mean,
at this point,
voice
you're
of
better
the-
off not assaulting police officers.
the voice of the
Yeah.
people change laws, motherfucker. That's how it works. Isn't it supposed to
Well,
work that way?
before until then, please don't punch a cop
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd still do it. I don't give a fuck.
for your sake.
Anyways,
For everyone's
basically,
sake.
one other situation is basically I was driving to work or whatever when we had the curfew. They pulled me over, and the female cop. I always get female cops. The female cop ended up coming to my side of the door, and she's like, "I need to know why you're driving." Blah blah. I'm like, "I'm going to work." So I provided the papers that showed that I'm going to work, and then she's like, "Is this your car?" I looked at her as if I was gonna murder her. I've never seen a female cop step back because she the look I gave her was like, "I'm gonna fucking kill you."
She thought you stole it.
Yo, I've never seen like a cop just I wish I had a picture of the look because that look was literally I was gonna fucking murder her, and she stepped back like she was afraid. Anyway,
Well,
so
wouldn't she just ask you license and registration, and then it would show
yeah.
your name?
But the thing is, that like when they pull you over, the computer they can type it in and automatically see who the car is. So them asking is just okay, same name, same blah 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 face.
Yeah, they want
whatever.
to make sure you're not lying, kind of thing.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, like, I mean, seriously, there's a limit there. There's a limit to how much a cop can fucking push.
Yeah,
And-
but they abuse, huh?
And this is why we need to have these
Power
laws-
trip. That's what it is.
Yes, this is why you need to have these laws changed at some point. Anyways, I want to get to the point of how useless cops are in this day and age. And
All right.
okay, let's go with the Uvalde situation where they didn't save the people and they allowed those kids to be killed. What do you guys have to say about that? Voice your
Oh, is that the
opinion.
shooting in Texas there?
Yeah, with the
Yeah. I honestly, I heard a bit about it, but I didn't read up on the details and stuff. So I don't feel like I
man.
could talk about it much.
Cowardly cops suck.
Basically,
I mean, what do
cops
you want?
showed up to a active hostage situation.
Okay.
And they waited 45 minutes to an hour, and in that
To
ti-
act?
to act basically, and then within that time, the person ended up killing a bunch of kids.
But wait, in the 45 minutes, I have questions. In the 45 minutes, were they trying to negotiate with the guy that was the shooter, or like were they
Okay,
just
here's the thing. We're gonna agree about this. They should have handled it differently. They were cowards. Or
Okay.
whatever. That's fine. We're gonna agree about that. But how does it prove your greater point that cops in general are useless?
I
How?
wouldn't say I wouldn't say cops are totally
Well, that was
useless.
Darnell's point he was trying to get at with this example.
Yeah, no. Sometimes I feel that. Look, my personal experiences. Look, it doesn't mean anything. I've had situations where yes, they have been useless. Even here, just another story to throw in quick. Once Max got into a fight with his baby mama's ex, who was super abusive, whatever. He punched him, called the cops. It's A section cops. If anyone knows South Shore, A section is a little bit ghetto. They show up. Of course, they see a black and an Arab fighting. They didn't want to take Max's fucking statement. They're like, no, you guys were fighting. Okay, yeah, you got punched out, but there was no witnesses. Ciao, bye, left them. So yeah, they are useless. There's many situations where I've seen that they're useless, but I've had so many other people share their experiences with me, and they have diffused situations. They have helped. So I wouldn't say they are totally useless. In my cases, they have been. In my fucking experiences, they have been. But others seem to have had good experiences. So let's say,
Well,
let's not put
what's-
everyone in the same boat, right?
What's the deterrent for lawlessness against lawlessness if there's no enforcement?
You can always have enforcement, right? But at the same time, what is the point of a cop?
To enforce the law.
Okay.
And
What
protect
laws?
and serve.
Okay. What laws are they enforcing?
Well,
Uh-huh.
if you're talking about, on highways or enforcing, traffic rules.
right. Traffic
Yeah.
rules. Yeah.
Whatever laws are on the books in the area they're in. What do you mean?
Someone steals, you call the police, but then the police come, and then in the end, they're not the ones doing the investigation. It's a detective most of the time.
Right.
But
you bring up a good point. It's usually
Yeah.
detectives that do all the searching and stuff. What else?
Yeah.
Cops do what? What else do cops do? Other than giving people tickets.
Look, in the end, what I see cops, they should be there to protect the public. So if they're driving around, or if someone's in distress and needs help, like they should go and be the people that,
That do
Well,
what?
they
calm
do.
down the situation. Yeah, not always. Not always.
Not
though,
always, but
unfortunately.
I mean, it
That's
is
it.
a major role. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't get on the news. It's a pretty boring story.
So you're saying all the good deeds that cops do just go unsaid?
Mostly, I feel
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, I feel so. Yeah.
Are you guys still
Just like anything, most things that make the news are negative. Positive people, which is weird because people like want more positive. Everything's so negative, but then what do people do? They go towards negative news all the time, and that's all you see. So
Mhm.
you're gonna see all the negative shit about police. You're not gonna see good deeds police do, because for some reason, as much as people talk about wanting positivity, they don't want to see that positive shit. They want to see the dramatic, sad shit.
People like to see shit that makes them angry.
I'm really curious though. What do you think cops do that is positive? That's what I'm asking you to try and give me an example.
Yeah, I think you got us there. Well, anyways, you might have gotten me there, Darnell, because I can't think of any like positive.
Because in
You're
reality,
thinking.
okay, because here's the thing. Most of the time, the cops show up after the fact.
Yeah.
And it's very rare that cops actually find a suspect. So yet again, like, what exactly are the good things that cops do?
Well, search for the suspect, I guess. You know, if somebody just robbed a bank or just stabbed someone and he's out on the run and cops show up on the scene fast enough, keyword.
Fast enough,
So if they show up fast enough on the scene and then they're able to set up a perimeter and fucking hunt him down, then that could be something positive, right?
Could.
Like, you know, like, I mean, come on,
Could.
if somebody, like, if let's say you're at home, scenario, somebody comes, stabs your girlfriend, runs away, you call the cops, they show up on time and they catch him 10 kilometers later, like hopping a fence. That's a positive thing, right?
But what's the likelihood of him not living in the area? He could get home in time, clean off.
He
and you
might,
would never...
but he might be far enough. Like, in most cases, it would be robbery.
Well, the alternative is there's zero chance he gets caught.
Right. The thing is, like, majority of the time, cops don't have a very high success rate in actually.
No, it's true. But when it does, I mean, it is a positive thing. So you said what's positive, even if it's a small percentage, it could still be positive, right? Don't laugh at me.
I'm not laughing at you. It's your defense of cops when we realized, like, cops are pretty useless.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, they rescue people plenty.
Rescue?
They rescue people. Yeah, sure. It could be from anything, from an accident, from a situation they're in.
Yeah, but like you said, we don't hear
Fire
about it. It's not advertised and it's not talked about.
Most accidents and stuff like that, fire departments have to be the one. Other than the occasional, like, easy to get to person, most of the time it's fire crew that actually rescue people.
Sure. Well, if you want more like minute stuff, I see all the time where a car could be broken down, a cop helps them out. Yeah, I mean, there's countless things that cops will help people out with,
which ordinary citizen could easily do, right?
Sure. But I mean, what
do they have the tools? Normal, like I said, citizens.
What tools are you talking about? If you go into a ditch, you're gonna need a tow truck. If you go into a ditch,
so that's it. Well, that's it. So like a normal citizen can't just help someone out, like because I'm a normal citizen, right? I don't have a tow truck.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like a flat tire, someone can easily help you with that. A cop can help you.
Yeah, but as a woman, like I don't want to stop just anyone to help me with my tire if I'm on the side of a highway at like 2 a.m. and I have a flat tire. I would rather call a tow truck or a fucking cop or whatever. I'm not going to rely on normal citizens. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, the point is that you're seeing all of the shitty cops, and there's plenty of those. But I don't think it's, and those need to be weeded out. But the other ones just don't get press. I mean, I would think the majority of police interactions are positive and fine.
Positive and fine.
Yeah, I think so.
I wouldn't say positive. I would just say they are where they are. It's just neutral. It wouldn't be positive. They go, they do their job, they take a statement. Is it necessarily positive? It's just what it is. Or I don't know. Taking a statement, I don't see as something positive, but not negative either, right? So I don't know.
Okay. Well, sure. I feel like you guys don't have anything to really justify why police should be around still.
To enforce the law.
Well, if let's say you would get rid of all police officers, I find there were like people would go like fucking crazy. There's people are gonna rob people. People are gonna rob stores, and then who are you gonna call
why? Wait, you have to justify why you think if the law isn't there, like if cops aren't there anymore, why people would.
Well, then if there's
it's a gigantic deterrent.
It would be like anarchy, like that's what you're saying.
Yeah, it's a huge deterrent. I mean,
yeah.
Wait. I would bet if you polled the most dangerous areas in the country, those would be the people most in favor of not getting rid of cops.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, wait. The funny thing is, like, do you think like every person is bad to the core or something? I feel like
what happens? What happens if a guy just punches you and takes your wallet?
So what? He took my wallet.
What do you mean? So what?
Does he have my
Is
kid?
there anything? Is there anything anyone can do from there, or it's just, oh, fuck you? He since he punched you, he gets your wallet now.
But you
Well, most likely the chances are, Daniel, if that happens and you call the cops, they're not going to find that guy and he's never going to be
I
arrested.
know, but
for what he did.
there's a reason he doesn't do it, which because that's a possibility.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's it. And there's a possibility. That's it. So it would like discourage certain people from committing crimes because there's a chance that they call the cops and someone does find them.
Yeah,
Okay,
if there's
so-
no cop, what's stopping the guy that wants to punch me and take my wallet?
Nothing, absolutely nothing. That's the thing.
Okay, so
So
the worst part is like you're saying, oh, well, let's leave it up to chance that cops are able to find a criminal. Is that what you're
Well,
But
it's it's largely
I
a
find-
deterrent, though.
if there's a consequence, people will be less likely to do something bad. That's something you
Yeah.
learn even growing up as a kid. You know, oh, if you don't eat your supper, you're not gonna have it, or if you do this, you're not gonna get this. There's consequences to your actions.
If murder wasn't a crime, there'd be a lot more murders.
Oh, there'd be a lot more murders. Exactly. That's it. Same with the robberies. Same with rape. Same with honor killings. You know,
so you're saying that humans are shit to the core, and as soon as you take away the laws or the enforcers, it's just gonna go buck.
I think
most people, yes, because we all agree that most people in this world are stupid.
I think
stupidity.
I would say
is
most people
look,
are decent, but yeah, you have to worry about the percentage that are deterred, the percentage of shitheads that are deterred by the cops. I would rather they stay deterred by them.
Also, lack of education plays a role, you know.
But
people who don't, people who grow up in, like, let's say, abusive households that don't know how to manage their emotions. You know, there's
Plenty of nuts out there.
Yeah, plenty of nuts out there. Many people with mental disease that are not addressed or treated properly or even diagnosed. Drugs play a part in that also.
You know, people still take drugs. You know that just because there's enforcement doesn't mean these people who have so-called psychological issues that you're saying, it's not going to deter them if they have a problem and they're going to.
Yeah, but the type of person that might be inclined to, like, break into a home is less likely to if there's a punishment if they're caught.
Exactly. You don't believe that, Darnell?
I feel like you guys are missing the point. Like, these guys will still do the crime. Do you know why? Because they're doing the crime for whatever reason, right? So it doesn't matter.
Some people do it out of fear. No, some people do it like, look, hey, there's some people that do it out of, and depending on what crime you do, if you go, some people, yes, some people do it. And same look, and even if you're going to go into another subject, some people, even for cheating, they do that. It's an adrenaline rush. I'm going to run after a married man. Oh, sneaking around. It's an adrenaline rush. People get rushes from stupid shit. So yeah, like some little kids, when they start fucking stealing, what do you think? It's because of the adrenaline rush. That's why I first started stealing from stores. Then I grew up and I matured and I'm like, no, I'm not going to steal. I could get in shit. And then I'm going to have a record and then I can't find a job. And hey, there you go. Look,
but if there was never the threat of any of that, you may just keep stealing.
Exactly.
Okay. Matthew,
so it's not only police. It's like just because police is part of the law enforcement system, everything. Like it's not just the police. The police is part of a system also, and that's part of the, law, juridical system, like système juridique. I don't know how to say it in English. Sorry.
Justice system?
Justice system. There you go.
It's not like it could be improved massively, but taking it away ain't the answer.
No, I agree.
Okay. Like, Matthew, do you have anything to say before I continue?